from the front and see what happens.
And there's a shakeup in the overall points. John Murphy's bonus 6 points is enough to put him into the overall yellow jersey lead by 1 second over Ilya Viviani. Anderson is just 3 seconds behind the yellow jersey. Michael Friedman is in 4th, Bobby Lee in 5th.
Yesterday said you were looking forward to sprinting against Ilya Viviani. You had a chance to in the finale of today's stage. What were your impressions?
You know, what can I say? Viviani's a world-class sprinter, and we take a very fast United Healthcare blue train to try and take him, and so far he's come on top, but we have the yellow jersey by about 1 second, I believe. So we have the upper hand, and we see what we can do tomorrow.
19 seconds up for grabs on tomorrow's stage. What will be the strategy?
Yep, the same as today. I can't tell you exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to do everything we can to hold this yellow jersey.
Do you feel comfortable with the teammates you have here?
Oh yeah, I have the best guys in the world riding for me, so all these guys are willing to sacrifice everything, and so am I. So we come home with the yellow tomorrow is the plan.
At the end of day 2 at the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove, the men's race fantastic, the Italian sprinters exceptional.
Ilya Viviani came here to win stages. He did just that. Scintillating sprint to the line. One of the fastest men on the planet. One of the very best field sprinters in the whole world of bike racing. And he delivered for Team Canada on stage number 2 at the Tour of Elk Grove.
Absolutely. And here's the great news for Team Cannondale. They don't have to defend a yellow jersey. He's 1 second out of it. John Murphy in United Healthcare, they've got to do that tomorrow.
Well, both of those riders were a little bit behind the stage winner from the time trial, Chad Haga. He did not factor into any of the sprints, and they took the time bonuses. So John Murphy into the lead, Ilya Viviani on the same second. So it's going to be an absolutely fantastic battle all the way to the last sprint of the Tour of Elk Grove this year.
That's right. If today was moving day in the Tour of Elk Grove, tomorrow is closing the deal day. We'll see you then.
The Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is brought to you by ComEd, by AXA Equitable, the Woodfield Chicago Northwest Convention Bureau, Comcast, and Prologis.
Welcome back. It's the final stanza of the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove Men's Pro Race. This is the Gullo International Pro Men's Circuit Race, and Bob, we have a very tight threesome at the top.
Ryan Anderson in 3rd, 3 seconds behind our race leader, John Murphy. John Murphy, he races for United Healthcare. 2nd, however, is the very dangerous and quick Ilya Viviani from the Cannondale squad. It's going to be a tough battle. 1 second to Viviani and just 3 seconds to Ryan Anderson. 19 seconds and time bonuses up for grabs throughout the day's stage. It's going to be an absolutely thrilling stage for the men to finish off the Tour of Elk Grove.
Well, United Healthcare had it easy in stage 2. They did not have the GC jersey, so they didn't have to defend that. They do now, so they're going to have their hands full.
Oh yes, they're going to have to do everything they can do to take the time bonuses away from Ilya Viviani, and he's racing so well. He's got great form, and he showed an incredible sprint to win stage number 2 and bring himself from 8th place after the time trial up into 2nd place, and virtually a dead heat with he and John Murphy from the United Healthcare squad. They're going to have a very tough battle on their hands.
Absolutely. United Healthcare has half sprinters and half road racers. They're going to have to use everybody on today's course.
And today's course is going to be tough for the men. Let's take a look at the course and see what they'll be looking at throughout the day's racing.
The men's circuit course uses much of the same roads as the time trial, but with a few additional bumps into the Elk Grove Village neighborhoods. The first neighborhood tour is a lap around the block at Middlebury Lane before heading back to the main spectator area. Before they get there, though, they'll hang a right onto Reverend Morrison Boulevard and then dip into a longer residential section. Then it's back to the time trial course. A circuit race is very similar to a criterium, only a longer course. As with yesterday's road race, there will be sprint challenges during this race, as well as cash bonuses. A total of 9 seconds can be won across the 3 sprint laps. An additional 10 seconds are awaiting the winner of the stage. The race is nearly 75 miles long with 12 6.2-mile laps. We expect to see average speeds in the upper 20s. When the riders turn back onto Elk Grove Boulevard, it's less than a mile to the finish line. Let's go racing. There's a lot on the line today. On course in the third and final stage of the Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove. It's a 3-horse race today between John Murphy, Ilya Viviani, and Ryan Anderson. Yesterday, we saw bonus and finish line points create a new overall leaderboard. Today, could see more of a shakeup. There are 2 big races going on today, the race to win the stage and the race for the overall GC points leadership. With the big teams focused on the overall title, this could be a chance for a smaller team to steal the stage win and a big check that comes with it. John Murphy was less than a second off the top GC spot after the time trial. He earned enough points in yesterday's road race to put him into a precarious lead. He's strong. He's fast. John was the U.S. Postal Criterium champ in 2009, and his team, United Healthcare, is the strongest crit team in the world right now. Murphy has a lot of weapons and help at his disposal to defend his yellow jersey. He'll have past Tour of Elk Grove winners Carl Menzies and Hilton Clark to help him along. No team can amass a talented and specialized leadout train like United Healthcare can. Expect to see them lined up and ready to launch Murphy at the end of the race. To keep the lead, Murphy needs to do one of 2 things. He can give himself a points cushion by winning sprint laps and placing in the top 3 at the finish line, or John could save some energy and let his teammates go for sprint points in a strategic game of keep away. United Healthcare's biggest rival, Optum, will come with its own game plan created by performance manager Jonas Carney, one of the most prolific crit racers of all time. The Optum team has some very dangerous weapons, including Ryan Anderson, who is in the 3rd overall spot right now, and just 3 seconds behind Murphy. Anderson also has talent at his disposal, particularly with Michael Friedman. Mike is a great sprinter and a tremendous leadout rider. The team also includes 2-time Pro Criterium champ Eric Young and Ken Hansen, who won 2 stages at the 2012 Elk Grove event. Hansen was also the U.S. Crit Champ in 2012. The big wild card in this battle could be the Cannondale Pro Cycling team. Ilya Viviani is just 1 second behind Murphy and is a serious threat. Today's race is shorter than the road stage, which is good news for the 6-member Cannondale team. Yesterday, some members of the Cannondale team worked so hard that they were shelled by the end of the race. Today's shorter distance and fewer corners will keep the team fresher and working for Ilya. Ilya said yesterday that he intentionally won the first road race sprint. He timed his sprint at the beginning of the race and then saved himself for the finish and an additional 10 bonus points. Will we see that same tactic play out today? For more on this weekend's title sponsor, the Alexian Brothers Health System, here's Todd Bastide.
Cycling is a challenging sport, and finding sponsorship in today's economic environment can be a challenge as well. That's why the ongoing commitment of the Alexian Brothers Medical Center is so crucial to the success of this event. We've jumped down the road just a little bit, and we're in front of the medical center on their beautiful campus right here in Elk Grove. Now, the Alexian Brothers themselves date back to the 12th century, and it was during the 14th century, when Black Death was ravaging Europe, that they established themselves firmly as healers of the sick. Over their 800-year history, collaboration has been one of the keys through which they bring help and healing to a hurting world. And it's collaboration with such things as a bike race that typify their current commitment to celebrating and promoting healthy lifestyles. Now, the Tour of Elk Grove is in its 8th year, and that's no small feat. But when you consider that the Alexian Brothers have been helping people for 800 years, it's no surprise they are such a fantastic partner to this event. Our thanks to the Alexian Brothers and the Alexian Brothers Medical Center.
And we're back to racing, and a breakaway that formed in the second lap is stretching its advantage. There are 8 riders in the group, none of which are on the same team and none of whom are in contention for the overall GC title. However, there's big money on the line for the person who wins this stage. It would be a nice payday for any one of these men. We're in lap 4, and the breakaway is now 2 minutes and 11 seconds ahead of the peloton. The break group is sweeping up all the bonus points and any bonus cash. And it looks like Japanese racer Nariyuki Masuda from Cannondale is backing out of the break. To join the peloton and help his team in another way. Cannondale is leading the peloton. They're tapping out a very manageable pace. In keeping the break at roughly 2 minutes, they're controlling the devil they know rather than catch the break and unleash a new flurry of attacks. Smart tactics. John Murphy is hovering near the front, protecting his 1 second GC lead.
John, have I told you how good that jersey looks on you?
Thanks.
How do you keep it on your shoulders at the end of this race?
Yeah, you know, we have a 1 second over Viviani and 3 seconds over Ryan Anderson with Optum. So, you know, we have a hard fight, but, you know, it's going to make sure we protect it in the intermediate sprint, and then we go for the win in the final.
As the laps tick away, the breakaway loses ground. One by one, breakaway riders drop back into the pack. By lap 9, it's just South African Martin Westman and Slovenian Aldo Ilsik of United Healthcare. By lap 11, the break is gone.
What's your strategy for today?
Yeah, I think thanks for the congratulations, but today is the most important in these 3 days, no? Because not only race for the stage, but for the general classification. The first focus is to win one stage, and yesterday I win. This is perfect for the team, and but today we want absolutely to try to win the general classification. I hope to make another good sprint, and I don't know in the race if I make the intermediate sprint, but I see the other guys, the other riders.
The peloton is visibly picking up speed for the final lap. The pace winds up even more when the bell rings, and Cannondale is still leading the peloton, followed by a wide array of teams all fighting for position. At the halfway point of the final lap, United Healthcare is sneaking up behind Cannondale before taking over the lead on Tawny Road. The Blue Train is asserting its control of the final lap, with Jelly Belly coming up the side. It's another all-out furious sprint for the finish. Everyone's out of the saddle and mashing the pedals again. It's Ilia Viviani with a win. He's edging out Ryan Anderson and Jelly Belly's Charles Huff. Nobody can get around Viviani. Winning this final stage in an exciting sprint is Ilia Viviani, followed by Ryan Anderson, Charles Huff, Eric Young, and John Murphy.
So what a phenomenal race for Team Cannondale today.
Yeah, sure. It's very difficult because I don't know, but in Europe is the normally is the leader jersey team go to in the front, but so I think the strong team is Cannondale, the more strong team here, and is good this race. I think the guys is so fantastic today because he worked for all the stage, and when the team work in this mode, it's impossible for me don't win because only for the team I want to go to so fast in the sprint.
So the overall winner of the 2013 Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove is Cannondale sprinter Ilia Viviani, who is 6 seconds ahead of Ryan Anderson. John Murphy is 9 seconds back in third. Michael Friedman and Bobby Lee round out the top 5.
You guys had it really set up there. Everything but the ending was perfect.
Yeah, it was really great. The boys are awesome today. We kept all the time bonuses out of Viviani's hands, which we wanted to do, and take it down to the sprint, which you know, Viviani was super today and all weekend. So we did what we could, and I came short.
Well, he didn't have a lead-out wheel to follow, but he certainly got on the right wheel, and he's just too strong today.
Yeah, our United Healthcare train was really good, and Alzate takes me to 200, and I step off his wheel, and the moment I do, Viviani just flies by. So, you know, I'm not a pure sprinter like some of these guys, so it's a little bit harder for me. But normally I can go with the best of them and, you know, keep my placing. But today I think I slipped to third overall.
Wrapping up the pro men's race at the 8th annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove, Bob Cannondale brought a great team. They had the best sprinter and the best race management.
Well, it was straightforward. It was anything but easy. Ilia Viviani, the fastest man in the bike race, had to be delivered to the line. He was able to win the stage, getting the final sprint bonus seconds. and overcome John Murphy in the overall standings for a great win for Elia Viviani, but hand it to his Cannondale team for doing the teamwork required.
Absolutely. For Bob Roll, I'm Greg Bliss. So long, everybody, from the 8th Annual Alexian Brothers Tour of Elk Grove.